The oldest surviving culture. Australian Aboriginal culture is the oldest continuous culture in the world, with evidence of human habitation in Australia dating back to around 65,000 years. The Aboriginal peoples have a deep connection to the land, which plays a central role in their spiritual beliefs, social organisation, and cultural practices. Before the arrival of Europeans, Australia was not a single unified nation, but was made up of hundreds of distinct Aboriginal groups or nations within their own territories, social structure and cultures. These groups are often referred to as countries in English, acknowledging their status as distinct nations. Colloquially in Australia, these groups are referred to as mobs. Even more broadly, these different mobs are placed into larger groups, such as Koori, those in modern-day Victoria and southern New South Wales, Muri, those in Queensland and the far north, New South Wales, or Noongar, those in the southwest corner or Western Australia. It's challenging to provide an exact number of different countries, as the identification and recognition of these groups can depend on various factors, including self-identification by Aboriginal peoples and recognition of other groups, or by the Australian government. However, it's often estimated that there were around 250 to 300 distinct Aboriginal nations at the time of European arrival. Each of these nations had its own language, and in some cases there were several dialects within a single language. The exact number of languages is also hard to determine, but there were likely over 250 distinct languages at the time of European arrival. Unfortunately, many of these languages have been lost or at risk of being lost due to the effect of colonisation, forced removals, prohibitions on speaking Aboriginal languages, and other forms of cultural disruption. Today, only around 120 of those languages are still spoken, and many of these are at risk. Some languages are quite similar and may have a high degree of mutual intelligibility, especially if they belong to the same language family or are geographically close. However, other languages can be entirely distinct and mutually unintelligible. Efforts are ongoing to preserve and revitalise Aboriginal languages, often led by the Aboriginal communities themselves. These initiatives can involve formal language teaching, the creation of written materials or dictionaries, and the incorporation of Aboriginal languages into public signs, broadcasts, and cultural events. The Dreamtime. Dreamtime, or the dreaming, is a term often used in English to describe a key aspect of Aboriginal spiritual beliefs and life. The term itself was coined by anthropologists and does not directly translate any single word in Aboriginal languages, but it has been used to try and encompass the complex network of beliefs about the creation and ongoing life of the universe. Broadly speaking, Dreamtime refers to a time when ancestral spirit beings formed creation. It's a period that predates living memory, a time of creators and ancestors who rose from the earth, sky, and water, forming the landscape, the animals, and the humans. These creation stories vary widely among different Aboriginal groups, each with their own unique traditions. The most universal of these creation stories and the most well-known is the story of the Rainbow Serpent. Importantly, Dreamtime isn't considered a period that's only in the past. Instead, it's seen as a continuous, cyclical process connecting their past, present, and future. The ancestral spirits who formed the world in the Dreamtime are still present and active. Their stories and lessons are passed down through generations via stories, art, ceremonies, dances, and songs. I hope you enjoy the collection of stories that I've produced in the following series.